Hello everyone and welcome to Roadmap. So today's topic is our forest part 1, and if you like the video, don't forget to click on thumbs up button below. You can also subscribe for more video updates, and you can also share, and you can also give your suggestions in the comment section below. So topics to be covered are introduction, dependence of animals on plants, recycling of nutrients in a forest, food chain, food web, some terms associated with forest, biodiversity in a forest, uses of forest, conservation of forest, and the Chipko movement. So, coming to the introduction, I'll just give a glimpse that actually you will be able to you will be clear after completing this lesson that how a forest develops in nature and the importance of forest. To understand the food chains and food web operating in forest, apply knowledge and explain the interdependence of plants and animals, analyze the term crown, canopy, and understories, and to evaluate the recycling of nutrients in forest, and to explain methods to conserve forest. So now tell me that forest, what are they actually? Now, looking at the background, the greenery, you can see the trees, you can see a lot of trees, right? And these are a forest. So, forests are one of the most useful renewable resources, and they are our national wealth. So, they provide habitat to many types of animals and plants. So, one third of land surface of the world is covered with forest. Now in India, about 21% of country's total area consists of forest land, and there are many kinds of forest. Now the type of forest in a particular area depends on the soil and also the uh, climate. So we have rainy season, we have winter season, summer season. So there is different climate and the soil type. Now trees are dominant in forest, and shrubs and herbs and climbers are also present. And a forest, what exactly it is? It is a biotic community spread over a large area of land and composed of tall trees, herbs, shrubs, climbers, and wild animals. So I'll repeat once again what forest is. The forest is a biotic community spread over a large area of land and composed of tall trees, herbs, shrubs, climbers, and wild animals. Now, the interdependence of plants and animals. Now, a forest is home to many kinds of plants and animals and microorganisms. Now, these living organisms depend upon each other for their survival, right? And they are interconnected and interdependent. Now, the dependence of plants on animals. Now, animals depend on plants in various ways, right? Now, they depend for food. All animals depend on for their food directly or indirectly on green plants. Herbivores feed on plant material directly, while carnivores feed on the herbivores, right? And for oxygen, plants produce oxygen during photosynthesis, and animals use this oxygen for respiration. Now, we have already studied this in our respiration chapter. They also depend for food, for shelter. Now, some animals depend on plants for shelter and safety. Trees provide protection from rain and shade from the heat of the sun to the animals. Now, most of the birds make their nest on branches of trees. Monkeys, apes, and bats also live on trees. Now, there is a dependence of plants on animals. Like animals, plants also depend on animals. Now, they depend for various reasons. First, for carbon dioxide. Now, animals produce carbon dioxide during respiration, which is released in the atmosphere. And plants use this carbon dioxide for preparing food by the process of photosynthesis. Now, in this way, plants play an important role in maintaining carbon dioxide and oxygen balance in nature. They also depend for the pole and seed dispersal. Now, a number of Number of insects, birds, and bats help in pollination. Now, some animals help in dispersal of fruits and seeds, and this we have already studied in the previous chapters. Now, for supplying nutrients, now animal excreta and their dead bodies add nutrient to the soil, right? And they act as a manure and provide mineral for plant growth. And there is a concept called recycling of nutrient in the forest. So how does the recycling takes place in forest? So you have read about autotrophs, like, right? They are the they produce themselves. Plants are autotrophs, right? And heterotrophs also you have heard about the saprophytes. Now plants are the producers and they produce their food, and animals are called the consumers because they cannot produce their own food and depend on plants and other animals for food. And animals are called heterotrophs, are called as heterotrophs. Decomposers are the microorganisms which break down dead remains of plants and animals into simpler substances and release nutrients into soil, water, and air. Now, this we have already studied in the previous chapter. So the producers, consumers, and decomposers and the abiotic environment depend on one another. Now there is a system of give and take between the two. Abiotic substances supply nutrients to producers. Producers prepare food for consumers. When the producers and consumers die, they are decomposed into simpler substances by decomposers. Now the decomposed product obtained is called as humus, and humus is a black colored substance which is rich in nutrients. Now the humus is added to the soil, and the producers again absorb these nutrients from the humus of the soil, and the whole cycle is repeated again and again. And this way the recycling of nutrients in forest takes place between the abiotic and biotic components of the in the forest. Now coming to food chain, what exactly food chain is? Now all animals depend on plants for food directly or indirectly. The producers are eaten by herbivores, the herbivores are eaten by the carnivores, right? So from the figure what you can observe is that the plant is eaten by worm, and then the worm is eaten by the turtle, and the turtle is eaten by the eagle. So what is this exactly? Now this is nothing but a food chain. Now what food chain is? The food chain is the process of food transfer from plants through a series of organisms with repeated eating and being eaten, and it is called as food chain. In simple words, a food chain indicates who eat whom's. Now for example, one more example for this, a grasshopper eats a green plant and a frog eats a grasshopper. A frog is eaten by a snake and a snake is eaten by an eagle. So these there are more examples, like the grass is eaten by zebra and zebra is eaten by lion. Then the grass eats deer and deer is eaten by tiger. Then the plant is eaten by rat and rat is eaten by snake and snake is eaten by hawk. The other example, plant eats caterpillar and caterpillar is eaten by sparrow and sparrow is eaten by hawk. So there are various other examples you can correlate, and food and energy get transferred several times between organisms but ends with dead animals and plants. Bodies of dead organisms are then broken down into simpler nutrients in the soil by decomposers. So this is about the food chain. It is easy. You can think of various more examples and write down in a piece of paper for practice. And if you have any of the doubts, you feel free to ask in the comment section below. And I hope you are enjoying the video. Stay tuned for more lessons to come. Thank you.